Next is objects. So right now we're going to be talking about objects. Now we've known what arrays are in JavaScript. We want to talk about objects. What are objects in JavaScript? Now, objects is a collection of key value pairs used to store data in a structured way. What does that mean? Like, okay, I want to get information about somebody. I want to get information about somebody. You can just maybe write the person's name, the person's age, the person's occupation, whatever you want to write about the person in one single parenthesis. That's what object does. Now, just give us a sample. What object does is, let's say, for example, let person equal to. Now when it comes to array, we are declaring array using square bracket, but when it comes to object, we are using curly braces. Are we together? We are using curly braces. Now from here you can just say, okay, name of the person. Which name should I give the person? Now just be like, okay, the person's name is Chupa. All right, then we have next. You can just say, okay, the person's age is let's say the person's age is 40. Okay, now you can just say, okay, occupa- occupation of the person. You can just say, okay, this is front end engineer. Let's write it in. Can I say the person is a front end engineer? All right. Now, this is what is coming. Okay, this is what um object looks like. It stores what key value pairs just to store data about something, about somebody, about somewhere, anything. That is what it does. Okay, sorry, I can see an error here. This is not supposed to be a semicolon. It's supposed to be a comma. All right. Now, this is what an object looks like. You can see here that in an array, we combine different things together here. But when it comes to object, it's just like storing information about something. Are we together? You can practice more, use different examples to practice. Don't just stay limited to the code you practice in class. No, try something new, try something wide. Can just give you error message. That is the process of learning. You don't just stick to what you learn in class. Try something new. When you get errors and you try to fix them, that's when you learn the more. Okay, are we together? So this is what object actually does. All right, this is what object does. Now we have ways of accessing objects. Okay, I've stored this information. How do I get this information? Now this is how we're going to do it. For example, I want to know the name you saved in that what's it called, in your object. Now just be like console.log. Now the first thing we have is the variable, which is this. Our variable here is what? Person. Okay, our variable here is person. Then we have the name, we have the age, we have the occupation. Now I want to know the name of the person. You first of all bring out your variable that stores those things and be like person dot what do you want to get? Name. Okay, person dot what? Name. Now this is telling us that your console should print the name of the person. Person is the variable storing all these values. Name is the name of the person. Are we together? So to get the name of the person, just console.log person.name. Now come to our console. What do we have here? Chupa. That's because the name of the person is what? Chupa. All right. Let's say we want to know the age of the person. Do console dot what? Age. Person dot age. Are we together? Now you can see it. All right. So that is how to like access object properties. If you have different properties, you can access them using this console.log, your variable and what you want to access. Okay, are we together? Now if you want to update it, you can just say, okay, outside of maybe your DS, outside of this, you can just say um let's say outside here, the name we have here, the age we have here, since we want to console.log age, let me just update the age so that I see how to update. You can just say person dot what? Oh, sorry, the person dot age. You want to assign a new age to the person. All right, you don't want to use that 40, you want to assign a new age, and that's a person dot age equals to 21. All right, see, it will now update automatically. What do you have here? 21 instead of what? 40. That's because you have updated the what? The age of the person. Are we together? All right. And please note that JavaScript actually works with DOM structure. Okay. If you don't structure your JavaScript very well, you might be having different output that you don't expect. Let's say console.log. Dot log. Although person dot age. Now, I'm telling you about the DOM in JavaScript. You still know more about it, but then I just want to explain briefly. Now, look at this. See, this first one, JavaScript, they work with order. They don't just, you cannot just say because I've updated it here, it will show here. No. This comes before this. It's after you actually display this value, this first age here. You can see that it's 40. But after this line, we now declared a new value for the age, which is 21. And now I want to print that value. We have this 21. Okay. All right. Well, good. So if you want to update anything, maybe you want to update the occupation, you can just say person dot occupation equal to anything you want to give. Okay, so that's just it. Maybe you want to create like for a brand name, you can just say let car equal to what's the brand? Say maybe brand Toyota, model Camry, year maybe 2020, start function and all of that. Anything you want to ask. Okay, so that is just it. Object is very simple, just used to store informations, to store key value pairs for data in a very structured way. Okay, so that is what um object does. When you dive deep into JavaScript and you start using objects, you understand better. All right, so up next we are going to be doing logical statements. We're going to be doing logical statements. We have our conditional statements. That's what we're going to be doing. But before we dive deep into that, I'm going to be telling us brief. You can just go and read more on it. Brief. I don't know if, yeah, I think you should have basic knowledge on that already. We have logic statements. Let me just write it. The logic operators we might be using. Logical statements. All right. Now, before we deal with logical statements, I would like you to know a bit of logical operators. Then we have equal to, right? This one is equal to, like when two values are equal to each other. All right. That's what it does. It doesn't compare their data type. It just show that, okay, 5 is equal to 5, true. 3 is equal to 3, true. Boy is equal to boy, true. So that's what it does. Then we have the triple equal to. So then we have the triple equal to. Now this one is the strict equality. What this does is it will show if the values are the same and their data type are the same. That's what it does. Okay, that's what it does. Let me show you what this one do. Let's say let a equal to 5. Okay, let b, let b equal to um 5 too. Now look at these two things, right? From here you can see that 5 and 5 they are the same. But what if you say um console dot log, console.log a equal to b. Now what you have the first time from the two things I've explained, I told you that this first one, this double equality sign, will only tell if the values are the same. It doesn't compare their data type. Okay, 5 and 5 they are the same. You can see that it's showing us true. But when it comes to strict equality, the three equality type, that is strict equality, it's telling us here that it was false, that this a is not equal to b. But from what we have here, 5 and 5 they are equal. But if you check their data type, this a is a number while this b is a string. Okay, so they are not equal. The data type is not the same, but the values are the same. Okay, so that's what it does. You can read more on logical operators. We have not equal to, we have greater than, less than. This one we know. We have and, not. All right. So let's go deep into logical statements now. Let's go deep into logical statements. Now, what logical statement does? Logical statements, they are just like how will I put it? They're just like conditions that check if something is true or false. Then they will not execute a block of code according to that. Okay, they'll just execute a block of code according to that. Now let me explain something briefly using, let's say, we've declared age before. So let's say let year is equal to 18, right? And this 18 is a number. How we write um our conditional statement? We're starting with the if statement, then we'll do if else, and then we'll do switch statement, and that'll be all. All right. So for if, you write your if, then this, then your curly braces. Now I will explain this. Inside this if, this bracket here, we're writing your condition, what the condition you want it to meet, and then inside here you are writing your code, what you want it to do. Let's say, for example, here, since we declared age, our year is to be 18, we can now say yes. Let's say yes, um greater than or equal to 18. What you are saying now is, if the year is greater than or equal to 18, it should do something. Let's say once the year is greater than or equal to 18, it should console dot log um okay, should console dot log you are an adult. Okay, should console dot log you are what? An adult. Right. Now from here our age is what? 18. You should console dot log what? You are an adult. Look at 18. Now what if we put a year that is greater, let's say 20? What does it print out? You are an adult. That's because from the condition we say if years is greater than or equal to 18. So anything from 18 above, it will tell you that you are an adult. Now, what if we put 16? Now it doesn't print anything. Okay, that's because we've not given a condition. We've not given a condition below the age of 18, right? Let me put it at 18. We're not giving a condition below the age of 18 or the age of 18. Now that's when the if else statement comes in. Now you now say if year is greater than or equal to 18, do something. Now you should console the log you an adult. Else, that's if it's not. Else, it should do what? It should console the log. Let me just copy this. Let's copy this. Just say, paste it here. All right, you are not an adult. All right. Now, what this does is, the first statement here is, if the year is greater than or equal to 18, you should console the log what? You are an adult. Else, that's if it is not, that is if it is less than 18, you should console the log what? You are not an adult. Now let's change this to the 16 we put before. Do you see now? You are not an adult. Do you get the difference now? So this is if statement and if else statement. Now you can still write nested if. That's why you have multiple conditions. Now let's say we want to still have another condition. We cannot end it with this else. We can just change this one to else. If, let's just give it another condition. Let's say else if create another thing and just say if years is strictly equal to 0. Now if years is strictly equal to 0, console the log you are, let's say you are you are an infant. All right. So now what this other condition does is, okay, let's put the last condition, and that will be else. That's if it's none of them, else console dot log. Let me just use something. You are an underage. Okay, let's use something like that. All right. So now this first statement here, this first condition, once the person is greater or equal to 18 years old, should console that the person is an adult. All right. But if the year of the person is strictly equal to 0, should console that what, you are an infant. Now the age you have here is 16. The last statement says else, if it does not meet any of this condition, does not meet any of the condition, should console the log, you are an underage. Are we good? Now the age here is 16, is not greater or equal to 18, so you cannot print this. It's not strictly equal to 0, so you cannot print this as well. But it does not meet any of them, so it will print this last one. Let's say we have 21. You see, it will change to you are an adult. Now let's say we have 0 from what, from our condition. We say what, if it's strictly equal to 0, strictly equal to 0, it should do what, you are an infant. So that is just um, our if statement and if else statement. Nothing much, very simple. And now you can just go to the last part, which is the switch statement. Now switch statement is very simple. We just write switch statement to avoid multiple if statements. If you don't like using if else statement, you want to avoid them, you can just use switch statement. Switch statement. Okay. Now switch statement has a simple what's it called? A simple syntax. We have the switch. We have our expression here. Okay. Then we have our case value. Okay. Sorry, our case value. What's this? Our case value. Then we have our code. And then have the break. And then the code again. And break. That's just the syntax. Now what this is telling us is, inside the switch statement, you are writing an expression here, what you are actually talking about. Then your case value is, okay, this is the case I'm taking, what is the code I want it to execute. All right, so I'll just explain so that you don't get confused. Now let's say, for example, we are looking for like day, we want to write days of the week. Let's say let day equal to, let's say 2, for example. Now we are dealing with what, day, so this our expression here will be what, day will be the variable we are dealing with. Okay. Now up next is our case 1. That's case 1. Okay. Now this case 1 is like day 1. Since our day is equal to 2 here, I can just say day 1. Then what you, here we are not using semicolon, we are using column. Now first um code, what do you want to do if the day is equal to 1? Let's say console dot log let's say Monday. All right. Okay, let me just come on. All right. Now write our break. Now this break, what it does is take us to the next action, the next case. Now say, okay, let me copy this. Let me just copy this and paste. Control C. Copy it and paste it here. Control V. Now this will become our case 2, and then we'll change it to Tuesday. Now let's do case 3 and change this to Wednesday. Case 3. Now in a situation where you don't have any condition that matches your expression, you don't have anything that matches your expression, we have what we call the default. Now what this default does is it will print out a value when none of the conditions or none of the expression or none of the cases matches your expression. Let's now say it should console.log invalid day. Now good. Now we are saying case 1, once this day is equal to 1, should console.log what? Monday, then break. Case 2, once the day is equal to 2, it should console.log Tuesday. Now look at what is we are having on our output. Tuesday. That's because what our day is equal to 2. Now let's change it to 3. Once you change it to 3, what is the condition we are giving it? Once the case is equal, the day is equal to 3, it should console.log what? Wednesday. Are we seeing it? Now, what if, since we only have case for 1, 2, 3, let's put something that is not there. Let's say 4. You see, invalid day. That's because we do not write a case for if the day is equal to 4. So that's just it. Very simple. Practice on different code and see where you can apply them. I'll be coming up with a brief assignment. I'll solve it and send it to you guys, like a brief work together. We'll do it and I'll send it to you guys as well. Then I'll give you a work to do. Thank you very much.